Now, from Central Oregon's news leader, this is News Channel 21 at 6.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Wanda Moore, live for you tonight at the Deschutes County Courthouse. A tragic update to bring to you tonight in the disappearance of Bend resident Kaylee Sawyer. Police now say they found a body and they believe that to be Sawyer's body. Now, Edwin Laura has been arrested yesterday in connection with this, and this affidavit was just handed to me with brand new information that we just learned. So I'm just going to go ahead and read you from this affidavit now as we learn more on this. So Edwin Laura's wife, Isabel Pons Laura, told police yesterday morning that she questioned his behavior. At this time, Edwin began to break down crying. Edwin told Isabel that he had run over someone while at work in his work vehicle. Edwin is a security officer at the Bend, Oregon COCC campus. Then Edwin told Isabel that he had hit a person, and that is the missing female Kaylee Sawyer from Bend, Oregon. Edwin told Isabel that while at work last night driving a COCC campus vehicle, she walked out in front of him in the dark. Edwin said that she hit his front bumper, and when she impacted, that is when she died. He panicked at that moment and then disposed of her body. Edwin did not tell Isabel where he placed the body, only that he disposed of it. So this is what we know right now from this affidavit that was just unsealed by the judge. Earlier today, there was also a press conference from DA John Hummel, and I'm going to bring in now Pedro Quintana, who has the latest on that. Pedro, what did you learn today from John Hummel?
Well, Wanda, we learned a lot of new information coming out on this homicide investigation. We know that Edwin Laura will be coming back to Deschutes County to face that one count of murder charge. Also, as you mentioned, they did discover that body in Deschutes County. Investigators are not telling us exactly where exactly that body was located, but they are assuming that that body is of Kaylee Sawyer. Now, Bend Police Chief Jim Porter also telling us that Edward Laura, his wife, also works for the Bend Police Department and is now placed on admin leave so she can deal with the recent news of her husband. Now, also DA John Hummel also speaking about this homicide investigation, saying 23-year-old Kaylee Sawyer was too young to die. He also became very emotional while reading the family's statement. Now, there is an autopsy being conducted right now on that body that was discovered. Now, currently we're hoping, and also officials are trying to see if they can possibly identify that body that they located. Also, there's still a lot of questions to be answered in regards to this homicide investigation. Hopefully those answers can be answered on the next few coming days.
Pedro, well, thank you so much. Tragic turn of events tonight here at the Deschutes County Courthouse. Thank you, Pedro. Well, as we're learning more about this, let's summarize what we know at this point as officials are putting together the pieces on this very complex case. Now, on Sunday night around 7 p.m., the family of Kaylee Sawyer made a report to the Bend Police Department regarding her disappearance. They say she went missing from her West Bend apartment near the Central Oregon Community College campus sometime after 1 a.m. Sunday morning. Now, by 11:30 last night, the Central Oregon Major Incident Team, who is working on Kaylee's disappearance, changed the investigation from a missing person case to a homicide investigation. Edwin Laura is a 31-year-old Redmond resident currently employed at COCC, working as a part-time campus public safety officer. We've recently learned that Laura's wife, Isabel Pons Laura, as I mentioned, is a Bend police officer who yesterday morning reported her husband's potential involvement in this investigation. This morning, we also learned that Edwin Laura was taken into custody in Northern California. So as we learn more about Edwin Laura, we're also looking in the crime spree that happened in California. And for that, we're now going to Jennifer Wade in our team coverage of this tonight. Jennifer, what do you know at this point?
Wanda, Laura was arrested by California Highway Patrol this morning in Tehama County. His alleged crimes leading up to his arrest is something out of the movies, a shooting followed by a carjacking. And it turns out he wasn't alone. Northern California police say a Bend homicide suspect went on a crime spree Tuesday as he tried to elude police. A manhunt sought Edwin Laura in the disappearance of 23-year-old Kaylee Sawyer of Bend. Police say Laura was accompanied by 19-year-old Andrea Mays of Salem as a passenger in a stolen car. Around 5 a.m., an elderly man was shot in the abdomen at the Super 8 Motel in Wairika.
But overall, very unusual. Appears to be connected to another crime, I believe. You know, it's a crime of opportunity there. I don't know if there's an actual reason for the elderly man being shot.
Minutes later, police say the pair carjacked a man's Honda Accord at a gas station with his 3 family members still inside.
That he went into the gas station and came out, and he observed his dog running and his vehicle with 3 of his family members missing.
The victims say he forced a boy to drive the car at gunpoint. Then just after 5:40, Laura dropped off the family at an I-5 rest area north of Weed. They were unharmed.
Very traumatic. They were just very grateful to have their family members back and safe.
Police soon learned from a cell phone ping that the suspects were on I-5 north of Reading. Around 7 a.m., police say a CHP officer spotted Laura speeding. After a chase at up to 100 miles an hour, police stopped and arrested the pair. They were booked into the Tahoma County Jail, charged with attempted murder, kidnapping, carjacking, and burglary. The relationship between Edwin Lara and Andrea Mays is still under investigation. We spoke with Mays' pastor in Salem, who says these allegations are very unlike her and believes she may have been abducted by Edwin Lara. The man shot at the Wairika Hotel is being treated at Rogue Valley Medical Center in Medford. He is reported to be in stable condition. We continue our team coverage at Central Oregon Community College. Alex Biston has been speaking to the students and faculty there. What are people saying on campus, Alex?
Well, Jennifer, students and staff I spoke to here at Central Oregon Community College say they're saddened and shocked by the disappearance of Kaylee Sawyer, and they can't believe something like this would happen in Bend.
It's really scary to think that that could happen to any one of us.
Tiara Newton is just one of the many COCC students who's shocked by the disappearance of Kaylee Sawyer. Kaylee went missing early Sunday morning near her West Bend apartment complex. That's just steps away from the college.
I mean, I love to go on walks and I take my dogs all the time, and if something like that were to happen just out of the blue, I mean, it's really scary to think about.
Police are calling 31-year-old Redmond resident Edwin Lara a prime suspect in the investigation. Lara was a part-time public safety officer at COCC for just less than 2 years. Campus officials say Lara went through an extensive background check and training to be an officer.
Our campus public safety officers go through extensive training on getting up and ready for the job, and so as one of our part-time officers, he would have gone through that training and obviously through that background check as well.
We did a court record search of Lara and found non-violent offenses such as speeding and driving with a suspended license. Communications student Marissa Funk admits she spends many late nights studying on campus and will now take extra precaution during her walks home.
It's just really scary, especially because Bend is such a safe town and all of the policemen here are so nice, you know, public safety officers are so nice, and then to hear that someone who's meant to keep us safe is the person of interest is really freaky.
COCC Communications Director Ron Paradis recommends students always have a buddy when walking late at night.
It's dark, and the campus is large in a very wooded area, and so we do encourage people to walk in pairs.
Paradis says since the incident, there is a heightened awareness of safety on campus, and the college is doing everything it can to keep its students protected while sending thoughts and prayers to Kaylee's family.
It's hard. It's difficult to think about that and think about her family, and I know that I can't imagine what they're going through at this point.
Now this morning, Paradis did tell me that COCC is working with Bend PD on this investigation, and just this morning, volunteers gathered for the search effort, and Samantha O'Connor has that story.
One of the search meeting points was at Kaylee Sawyer's dad's house, and as soon as I pulled up, you could just feel the emotion. The street absolutely lined with cars, even a line of people outside the house waiting to register to help with the search in any way that they could.
Many volunteers had just heard the story but didn't know Kaylee personally. Even her dad told me the silver lining out of all of this is the power of our community coming together as mothers, fathers, brothers, and sisters.
My heart breaks for the family. It's just too close to home for our family, and I would hope if anything happened to my children, my daughters, that the community would come out and help in any way possible.
I'm here because this is what community does right now. Kaylee is everybody's daughter. She's everybody's granddaughter, friend. We need to find this girl and bring her home to her mom.
Volunteers split off into various groups. There was also another search set up to start from Stackhouse Coffee in Bend. That was mainly COCC students who just wanted to help. And helpers were sent door to door with flyers and to ask if anyone knew anything, and they weren't confined to one location.
One man who is close with the family but didn't want to speak to me on camera told me that he wanted to highlight Bend PD's involvement in this case. He said that they worked tirelessly and very quickly to find answers in this case. Wanda?
And we're continuing our live coverage of the homicide investigation into the death of Kaylee Sawyer here tonight at the Deschutes County Courthouse. So keep it on KTVZ and KTVZ.com for the very latest. Now also tonight, a candlelight vigil is scheduled for Kaylee Sawyer at Discovery Park. The Sawyer family invites the entire community to attend and bring your own candles. The vigil is at 8 p.m. We're going to be right back.
What's the difference between the other guy's stylish sofa priced at over $800 and the exact same sofa at Furniture Outlet for under $600? Well, $220. Furniture Outlet. Quality for less. Every day. Guaranteed.
Bend Golf and Country Club, where you belong. We're closer than you think.
Honey, we have wonderful news.
Okay, but first we're going to Whispering Winds Retirement for lunch.
But dear,
you promised you'd look at retirement communities, and Whispering Winds has an amazing menu, and I hear they have the best food in town.
Yes, but...
Just look.
Yes, dear.
George, Betty, welcome home. Your movers just arrived.
Mom, Dad, what's your news?
We're moving to Whispering Winds, dear.
Would you like to join us for lunch?
What are you waiting for? Call Whispering Winds today.
When you get a tattoo, you don't expect more than one artist working on it.
Now hold still.
The same thing when buying a new or used car. Subaru of Bend features a streamlined process. One car guide working with you from start to finish, making the process easier and more enjoyable. Lease this 2016 Forester for only $271.71 a month for 36 months. Subaru of Bend, the West Coast's oldest Subaru dealership.
What's the only difference between their sectional priced at almost $1,700 and the same sectional at Furniture Outlet for under $1,300? Well, $380. Furniture Outlet. Quality for less. Every day. Guaranteed.
The local alert weather forecast is brought to you by Central Oregon Heating and Cooling.
Welcome back, everyone. We're still live here at the Deschutes County Courthouse with up-to-date information about the disappearance and now death of Bend resident Kaylee Sawyer. As I just mentioned a little bit ago, we learned in an affidavit that was just released that Edwin has apparently run her over with a car and then disposed of her body. So we are going to continue and bring you the latest updates of this as we get it. For now, let's go to the studio to Lee Anderson, who has your national and international headlines. Lee?
The battle continues this afternoon. Firefighters are still working to get a handle on the rattlesnake fire on the Warm Springs Indian Reservation. It's located 10 miles outside of Warm Springs. The 9,225-acre fire is now 80% contained. About 200 firefighters and support personnel are fighting the fire, including 4 helicopters, 18 engines, and 6 air tankers. The Northwest Coordination Center says crews have made good progress on the fire, and it may be contained by tomorrow. The hot, dry, windy weather is making matters worse in California this evening, where 2 major wildfires are burning, and both are burning out of control. Chris Clackham has the latest.
The Sand Fire near L.A. is the largest of more than a dozen burning California right now. Over 38,000 acres of the Santa Clarita Valley have been scorched, leveling nearly 24 homes.
I was so amazing, the fire coming so fast.
And forcing the evacuation of some 20,000 residents.
Nature's pretty crazy. You know, I mean, this all got nuked. This is like moonscape through here.
Although the firefight is far from over, overnight some of those evacuated were allowed back home. While the National Weather Service warns that high winds are expected through Thursday.
It's like someone threw a switch. All of a sudden the winds completely changed and picked up by 20 to 30 miles an hour.
Another big fire is along the wooded canyons and ridges south of Carmel in Monterey County, a fire that grew to almost 20,000 acres overnight and is only 10% contained.
Right now we have some warnings in the Carmel Highlands area, and the reason for that is we just want to make sure that everybody is ready and prepared to be able to leave their house quickly.
And quickly get out of the way of fire that's taking advantage of California's 5-year-old drought. Chris Clackham, NBC News.
We're continuing our KTVZ road trip series. Our stop tonight, Maryhill, Washington. Come explore the unique history behind this town by the gorge. We'll tell you from where Maryhill got its name and what the connection is to Queen Mary of Romania. Next, have a glass of wine with us with a spectacular view. Then we're headed to Stonehenge. No, not the one in England, though. This one's just down the road.
It invites your imagination and it invites you to think about these things. I mean, people have come and played their didgeridoos there. It's a great place to visit. And of course, it's set right out on a cliff, which has truly spectacular views of the Columbia River and of Oregon and Washington.
The Stonehenge replica even has English researchers make their way to Maryhill. Coming up at 6, Wanda Moore and photojournalist Steve Kaufman will have more as they take you on this road trip. Coming up after the break, history is made at the Democratic Convention tonight as Hillary Clinton is officially nominated for the party's nomination.
And another gorgeous day across the high desert. Blue skies, sunshine.